Hey everybody, welcome to Kidventure and our presentation on the 2018 summer camp season and what to expect on your first day of day camp. My name is Mike McDonald.
And I'm Sarah Blaisdell. The goal of our presentation is to provide you with important information on what to expect when you and your child come to camp.
In the next few minutes, we'll talk about what to bring to camp, drop off and pick up, what to expect on a Monday morning, the family number and safety, and what camp looks like this year, including our new theme and our new curriculum. Finally, we'll touch on communications during the summer. So, let's get with it.
So how do we need our campers to dress, and what should they bring each day? Having the right items and the ability to keep those items organized together will make your day and theirs a lot easier. The first thing is our camp shirt. Your child will receive 2 free shirts on the first day of camp for the summer.
You can always purchase additional shirts, that's not a problem, but please wear them each day. It's for safety reasons for us. It helps us organize our kids and identify them quickly.
And you can have your camper come in regular clothes and just get them changed into their new shirt on the first day if it's your first summer with us.
Absolutely. So in addition to that shirt, we want them to obviously wear other things, and that's a comfortable short. They need to dress athletically, right? So have them come in shoes and socks. No flip-flops or Crocs, please, because we're super active. We want our kids to be safe. A water bottle is a great idea. Keeping our kids hydrated during the day is super important for us. A hat or a cap, if your child likes to wear that, would be amazing. So that's certainly fine. In addition to that, a backpack, something to carry all that stuff in and keep their stuff organized is awesome. Can also label that stuff. I mean, we're going to do as good a job as we can keeping those kids' stuff organized, but it certainly helps to have their name in there.
If you can, we love if you can put their sunscreen on before you get to camp. And if you want to throw some in their backpack, we're happy to reapply throughout the day as needed.
Yeah.
And we also ask that you please leave any electronic devices, gaming devices, phones, tablets at home. We will keep your kids plenty occupied without screens.
Absolutely. All right. So knowing and understanding drop-off pickup times and procedures is super important. And for that, I'm going to have Sarah talk a little bit about that.
So if you are signed up for just a regular camp day, our hours are 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And we offer a carpool situation in the mornings and the afternoon. Drop-off is 8:45 to 9, and pickup is 3:30 to 3:45. If you have chosen to take advantage of our extended hours, we have what we call pre-camp and post-camp. And for both of those, you'll need to walk in to drop off or pick up your camper. Our pre-camp hours are from 7 a.m. to 8:45 a.m. and post-camp pickup is from 3:45 until 6 p.m.
Yeah, so I think it's important for parents to know too, on your first day of camp, regardless if you're coming to pre-camp or post-camp, we want everyone to park, walk up, and greet us. That way we can make sure that all your information is in order. We have all your emergency numbers. We have a chance to greet you and say hi and have sort of a face-to-face with you. After that first day, if you're just picking up for regular camp or dropping off regular camp, please make use of that carpool time. And in addition to that, I think it's real important, if you're doing carpool, stay in that carpool line. It's kind of hard for us when we have parents that are trying to park and come through that carpool line. So for safety reasons, stay in that carpool line. Typically, after about a week, once we've got the systems down and parents understand the carpool pickup situation, it goes really fast and we become real efficient. So just keep that in mind.
At most of our campsites, you'll notice that we have bright red traffic signs, and they'll be placed in areas near the campsite to help guide you to the specific drop-off and pickup locations for your camper. And we'll talk later about our newsletters, but please know that your weekly newsletter will include carpool instructions for your site, so you'll want to glance over that before you come to camp the first week.
All right, so what to expect when you arrive. So it's Monday morning, it's the first day of camp. There's no doubt that that first day is super exciting and sometimes a little nervous for everybody. So let me give you an idea of what camp is like on that Monday morning. As you park and you walk up, our staff will be outside or will be gathered in a place to receive you. At that point, we're looking to greet you and we're looking to make your child feel comfortable about walking into camp. I mean, if it's their first day of camp, they've never been with Kidventure, they don't know anybody, that can be kind of a nervous experience. And so we want to make them feel comfortable. So probably some high fives, maybe some fist bumps, some greeting, and then it's time to get you guys checked in. And we'll do that. We'll get you checked in. We'll give you that family number, which we'll talk about here in just a little bit. And then it's you're leaving and that child is going into camp. So hugs, kisses, and goodbyes. One of the things that we try to let our parents understand is that the longer you sort of hang on there, the harder it is for your child. We know that some kids are going to have a hard time transitioning into camp that first day. That's okay. That's part of that process. The best thing you can do, give that hug, give that kiss, and take off, and they're going to be in great hands, okay? So what do we look like? By far the most important part of your camper's experience with us is their counselor. And it's important that you know who we are and what we look like in terms of it being identifiable. Each of our team members at camp will be dressed in our camp uniform. So counselors will be in the red KV t-shirt. Directors will be in a gray shirt. Each person will have a name badge clearly identifying who they are.
So, of course, it's not really what's on the outside of our team, but what's on the inside that's most important. Each of our counselors and directors are first aid and CPR certified. They've gone through pretty extensive training with us, and they've had national background checks. Everybody at Kidventure is going to be 18 and older if they're working with the campers. The majority of our team members are actually certified teachers or lots of education students who are working on their degrees. And most of all, everybody who's working at Kidventure loves kids in camp.
Every one of our counselors and directors is going to be wearing a name badge, and you'll see those because they're quite large, and they'll be on sort of hanging from their neck. On the front side will be their name, so you know exactly who they are. But more importantly, on the flip side, it contains a list of the campers that counselor has for that week. So we've already put your kids in specific groups by age. In addition to that age and name, we identify other things on there. If they have special needs, if they have dietary restrictions, if they have allergies. That's something just for our counselors to know so that we can keep track of your child and provide the safest opportunity for them while at camp. These are assigned, like I said, before Monday, and we're eager to meet them. That way that counselor kind of knows who they are. They'll be looking out for your child on that Monday morning.
On your first day of camp, you will receive your family number. So this number is printed on a colored piece of paper with your last name, and it's a number that is unique to your family. When you pick up your child from camp, we'll ask you for that number every single day. You have to have it or know it in order for us to release your child. If you're picking up in the carpool line, we ask that you place it in your dashboard on the passenger side. And many parents also take a picture of it with their phones. That way, if one parent isn't there the first morning, you can send it to them so that they know what the number is and they can save it for another time when they come. Just text it so the whole family has access to that number. And just remember, if anyone is picking up your camper, they will need to know that number, and we also like to make sure they are on your pickup list.
That's a great point.
You can always call our office during the summer if you need to add someone or double check who's on your pickup list, and we can happily do that for you.
Yeah, if you're carpooling with another parent who has another child in camp, just make sure that all of you guys know each other's numbers so that we can release those children safely and by our protocol. We would appreciate that very much. All right. We have titled this summer, The Spirit of Summer, and there is certainly something magical about summertime. That sense of freedom, the road trips, fireflies at night, camping out under the stars, that spirit is something most of us treasure from our own childhood. And so this year, we wanted to remind our kids about that spirit and bring some of that magic to them. So how do we do that? It's how we decorate camp. It's the music that we play. It's many of the activities, some of the trips that we provide. We want that spirit of summer to provide your child with many fond memories. That is why we tend to theme our weeks. We give those a specific name. And here you can see these are all the weeks. So every campsite is going to have the same individual camp themes. And they will correspond this year to the dates. Now, not every campsite will have all of the weeks. So you need to make sure you keep that in mind. Keep in mind that not all campsites have the same number of weeks. So refer to your specific campsite for those dates. You can always attend camp in different locations. It doesn't matter. You don't have to just stick with one particular campsite. If one campsite finishes the last week of July, you can go to another camp that finishes in August.
With 24 years of running camp and creating curriculum, it's taught us a thing or two about what provides our kids with the greatest opportunity to learn, grow socially and emotionally, and to be happy. So our new curriculum framework is called the 4 Cornerstones. Everything we do at camp will fall under one of the cornerstones.
Yeah, projects are student-driven. There's an emphasis on independent decision-making, limitless creativity, and teamwork. The cornerstones just sort of provide for this. So everything that we do will fall under one of those 4 cornerstones. And they are exploration, creativity, physical activity, and reflection. And these vary. So there's going to be a separate curriculum for discoverers, a separate curriculum for explorers, a separate curriculum if we have the LEADS program offered for you. We think it's important for our kids to be involved in activities, in events, in projects that are designed to create a particular outcome. And those outcomes for us at Kidventure have always been the most important part of our program. We want kids to walk away from camp having a greater sense of self-esteem. We want our kids to walk away from camp having a greater sense of self-worth and confidence and independence and responsibility. When you design those activities based on those outcomes, you have a greater opportunity to grow a happy, healthy child. And that's what our 4 corners really optimizes and provides for our kids.
So the Discoverers is our early childhood program for kids who are ages 3 through entering kindergarten. Our goal here is to provide a nurturing and caring environment in which our kids can grow emotionally, socially, and of course physically. We are active. We believe kids need to participate in hands-on activities with purpose, with feedback, and with love. Activities Discoverers will participate in are things like structured art projects. We have dress-up centers and different kinds of centers in their classroom, skill-based learning, science experiments, opening and closing pep rallies, character building. Kids get free time on the playground to make up their own games, and we even have a splash day every week where your kid can safely explore in water.
And when the kids graduate from the Discover program, they move into what we call the Explore program. And the kids like to affectionately refer to each other as the red shirts or the blue shirts if they're a Discoverer. This is our school-age camp program. And these are kids that are entering first grade in the fall through age 12. Now they're divided into age-appropriate smaller groups of no more than a 1-to-10 ratio. Our Explorer campers participate in a wide array of activities under those 4 corners that we talked about a little while ago. Important for us is character building. So we want our kids to learn to be brave, to be kind, to be confident and compassionate. Each week we focus on a particular character trait and we work to develop that in each of our campers. Explorers will also field trip once a week. That's a big difference between our Discoverers. Discoverers do not field trip. They'll be involved in a wide variety of athletic endeavors and camp games. They'll do art, they'll do science, field sports. That field trip will take place. They love Gaga, 9 square in the air. They'll dance, they'll sing, they'll be crazy, and they'll have a blast. What we don't do is watch movies. We don't sit around screens. We're creating positive relationships. We're fostering positive kids. We're fostering positive outcomes. And that's our Explore program. In Houston, we have the LEADS program. Now, LEADS is our middle school program. And certainly middle school is a crossroads. We have got to provide our 6th through 8th graders with the opportunity to realize their potential, to give them chances to grow strong, to experience positive relationships, and to succeed or to fail gracefully and understand that they can make a huge difference. We accomplish this through an inspiring and active camp. Each week our LEADS campers participate in community service projects. They take on an adventure-based field trip. They play sports. They hear guest speakers. They hang out with friends in an uplifting and a positive environment. We're super proud of our LEADS program. We love our kids in that program. And if you have one that's in 6th through 8th grade, we urge you to enter that program. Give us a try. Once again, those are on a weekly basis, just like our other programs. All right, let's talk about a day at a glance. We get a lot of questions about what is a day at Kidventure like, Monday through Friday. And so we kind of wanted to give you kind of like a 30,000-foot view of what that looks like. So you have to understand that we are structured, but we are structured so that we can have fun and be crazy and have a great time. In general, we're extremely active, we're varied, and each day begins with an opening ceremony. So around 9 o'clock, everyone comes together. Think of it as a giant pep rally. It's time to break the ice, right? Get kids comfortable. We do that by singing, by dancing, by doing counselor challenges. Maybe there's even a pie in the face on one of those counselors. We want our kids to laugh, open up, and feel good about their experience there. So after that, kids are broken up into the small groups. And that's really the heart and soul of the Kidventure Camp program is that counselor and that group of that small number of kids. They will integrate, they'll talk, maybe they'll create a secret handshake, they'll get to know each other. And then it's time for rotations. So in the morning, think of it as about 3 rotations in the morning. And that could be art, could be outdoor athletics, and it could be a science experiment. Then we all come back together for lunch around noon, and we do rotations again in the afternoon. I will tell you that the summer is warm, as you know. The vast majority of our outdoor activities really take place in the morning time when it's not so hot. And then everybody comes back together towards the end of the day, and we'll call that 2:45, 3 o'clock, 3:15 for closing ceremonies. We want to reflect on our day. We want to talk about tomorrow. We want to end our formal camp day with song and dance and laughter and fun. And a little bit before 3:30, we'll line up our campers that are heading home for pickup and carpool, and the others will transition into post-camp where they can participate in a variety of high and low activities until their pickup at the latest at 6 o'clock.
And one other thing to mention, if your child is in our Discover program, they will have what we call chill time after lunch. And this is just an opportunity to rest. They do not have to sleep, but we know that a lot of kids in our Discover program haven't been in school for a full day and they get tired.
Yeah.
So we give them an opportunity to have just some quiet time with the lights low. They can listen to music, do some coloring or puzzles.
Yeah.
And so that's why we do encourage you to bring the nap mat if needed.
Yeah, if you're a kid is one of those that has to have that 45-minute power nap, then by all means, we'll make sure that happens. If your kid was like me when they were 4 years old, the last thing in the world I wanted to do was nap, then they don't have to. We'll have other activities for them. But it is a chance to catch our breath. Great point, Sarah. All right, weekly traditions. After 24 years of running day camp, you end up with a fair number of traditions. And we love our traditions. It provides sort of a solid foundation to what we're doing, something that kids oftentimes look forward to because they know and expect that those are going to be taking place. These traditions help make Kidventure a unique place for our kids. And these traditions are things like those opening and closing ceremonies that we talked about. KV Live. So every week, in addition to everything else that we're doing at camp, we invite outside guests, special guests, to come and do things with our kids. Now, it could be the Audubon Society is bringing 3 birds of prey. It could be the snake guy, which the kids love. We've done for years. It could be an astronaut that's coming and talking to our kids about his or her experience at NASA. And it gives these kids an opportunity to be enriched by a special guest, by somebody with a different perspective, something that we can't typically provide. Red tickets, Sarah, is another one. You want to talk about red tickets?
We love red tickets. Kidventure, we are all about positive reinforcement. We really think if we can find something positive a kid's doing and tell them we're proud of them, we give them a red ticket for something great, and that really helps us with any behavior issues. So at the end of the day, most days, our counselors will get up in closing ceremonies and they'll pull tickets out of the box. And kids get to go to the prize box. Or some camps might let the kids pick a counselor who's going to be getting a pie in the face that day. There's all kinds of special things we do.
Yeah, and on Friday, too, we have what's called ribbon ceremony. And ribbon ceremony is an opportunity for each counselor to award a ribbon for each child in their group. You know, every kid does something during the week that we really feel like should be awarded and noted. And so it's an opportunity for those kids to be presented, for those kids to be acknowledged for something. And it could be, you know, for being a super great helper, somebody that was just so involved in all the activities. It could be somebody that was super helpful. It could be a lot of things. And the kids love them. Mm-hmm. It's a great opportunity for the kids and a great opportunity for the parents to understand that their kids are being valued at camp.
Our kids end up with about 25 backpack ribbons tied on every summer, and they're taking them all through school. So it's fun for our returning campers to keep that collection.
Absolutely. All right, so we're almost there, you guys. Hang on with us here. We want to talk a little bit about communications, okay? It's important, once the summer starts, for us to communicate with you. That's not always very easy in a car line where you're moving and going. So with that, I'm kind of turn that over to Sarah, and she's going to tell you a little bit of how we keep up with you guys.
So the first thing that you're going to get is a weekly newsletter. Every week that your child signed up, the Thursday before that week starts, you will get a newsletter specific to your child's campsite. And that'll be broken into the different age groups. So just make sure you're looking at the right age group.
And that'll be emailed, correct, Sarah?
That's right. And it'll highlight a couple activities the kids are going to do each day. And it will also show you what days is splash day. When's the field trip? When do they need to bring a towel or water shoes? That's all going to be outlined in the newsletter for you. And it's also a great way for you to have talking points with your camper when you pick them up. You can say, how was this activity you did? How was Gaga Ball today? And you'll know the kids did that, so they have to kind of talk about it with you. We also have whiteboards at every camp. We try to put them in a place that's easy to see when you're picking up in our car line or coming and going from pre and post camp. And those will kind of hit some of the same points as the newsletters. They'll say, you know, don't forget your towel tomorrow, or a popular one in the beginning of the summer, please make sure you send us your shot records. Things like that, just little communication points. And then, of course, we really encourage you to communicate with your staff at your camp. Feel free to grab a director in a gray shirt when you can if you need to have a chat about anything that's going on with your camper. And you can also call us here at the Kidventure offices. At KV, one of our main things is safety. We always want your kid to be safe. And sometimes that means that our staff on site don't have time to take 20 minutes to talk right when you get there in the morning, because they need to make sure kids are safely organized and where they need to be. And in that situation, we just want you to give us a call at the office so we can put you in touch with them at a more convenient time.
Yeah. And lastly, social media. So particularly our Facebook page, we post a lot of important information on that Facebook page. If you've not liked us there, do so. It's a great resource for everyone. All right. A couple things before we say goodbye to you. Overnight camp, in addition to day camp, for 24 years we have run overnight camp programs from 8 through 18 years of age, Safari, Echo, and Apex. If you have a child that wants to step up that adventure and you think they're ready to head off and take a week away and grow in a unique way, we would love to have them on one of our overnight camp programs. You can find more information on the website as well. Well, with that, I think that kind of ends it for us. We hope that we've provided some information for you that will help you. By all means, we are always available to answer any questions, and we know you have unique questions and want to make sure that we provide answers and solutions for those. We're super excited about the summer, right, Sarah?
Sure. Yes.
This will be our 24th summer of Kidventure, and you know, for us, we live for camp, and we live for our families and for our kids. We want this summer to be the best, not just for your child, but for you too as well.
So thank you so much for sticking with us, and we can't wait to see you and to meet your campers this summer. Bye-bye.
We look forward to seeing you.